I never imagined that making bread in the air fryer could be so easy and fast. I start by adding here about 7/8 of a cup of warm milk, which helps activate the yeast well. Now I add 1 tablespoon of active dry yeast, ideal for soft bread doughs. I mix everything with a hand whisk, then add half a teaspoon of salt to balance the sweetness of the recipe. I also add 1 whole egg and 5 tablespoons of granulated sugar to give it flavor and color. Then I incorporate 2 tablespoons of softened butter at room temperature. I mix very well with the whisk until I get a smooth mixture. Now I remove the whisk and continue working the dough with flour. I begin slowly adding the all-purpose flour. In total, I'll use about 4 cups, but the key is to add it gradually. I incorporate it into the wet mixture while keeping an eye on the texture. That way I can control the right point of the dough, so it's neither dry nor sticky. When you get a soft, elastic dough that doesn't stick, it's perfect. I transfer that ready dough into a clean, lightly greased bowl. I cover it with plastic wrap to keep in the moisture, and I let it rest for 30 minutes in a warm place with no drafts. The resting time has passed, and our dough has risen very well. I sprinkled a bit of flour on the surface to make handling easier. I spread the flour with my hands so the dough doesn't stick. And now I begin rolling out the dough carefully. Using a rolling pin, I stretch the dough into a rectangular shape. Then I roll the dough from one end until I form a log. Look at the beautiful texture of this dough, airy and flexible. I pick up the shaped bread with my hands and gently, I place it inside the basket of the air fryer. I already put a piece of parchment paper at the bottom so it won't stick. Now I cover the bread with a cloth or lid and let it rise for 30 more minutes. See how our bread rose again? It already doubled in size. Now I'm going to brush it with 1 beaten egg yolk. This will give it a beautiful golden color once baked. Brush well over the top without leaving any dry spots. Make sure every part of the bread is covered with the yolk. Then I put it back into the air fryer. I close the lid and let it cook at a steady temperature for 30 minutes. And it's done. Our bread came out of the air fryer with an amazing look. I let it cool for a few minutes to make it easier to remove. Now I'm going to take it out carefully. Look how pretty the bread turned out, golden and nicely shaped. Besides looking great, the smell is simply irresistible. Now I cut a slice to show you the inside texture. Look how it turned out inside. It's fluffy, soft, and has a delicate crumb. In just a few minutes, you have a perfect bread to share. And look how fluffy it is here. Simply wonderful. I'm going to spread a bit of butter on top while it's still warm. I'm telling you, make this bread.